That's just me, Jono. G'day, guys. How you going? Welcome back to Supercoach with DR. Welcome back to this week's stock market video. I've been talking for about the last minute. It was scheduled at 5:50. I didn't realise I had to actually click go live. So there you go, my mistake. John and I have been having a swimmingly good time here chatting with each other for the last minute. But for anyone that has not met this man yet, below me we have one of my longest serving members of the channel, John O'Carroll, and he has just created his own YouTube channel, being a Supecoach. So welcome, mate. How you been going? Hope you're well.
Yeah, not too bad, thank you, DR. But as you know, I'm a long-term Saints supporter and a long-term member of your channel. But I hope my boys can turn it around tomorrow against West Coast. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, look, neither of our teams have been going too well, have they, mate? Let's be honest. No. But hopefully we can turn things around, mate. We've got the bye this week, the Lions, but geez, hopefully start to give her all, mate. So it has been an absolute killer. So, guys, what's been going on is that I was just explaining before when I thought we were live, but I've been using this old laptop, as you know, because my laptop got nicked from a car. It's been maybe a month ago now. And so I think that it's either the storage or just the fact that it's so old, and I don't know what's going on, but I literally couldn't upload the Stocky. I had everything ready, recorded, but when I went to actually export the video and then upload to YouTube, for some reason it just wasn't happening. So apologies for that, but I'm hoping we can do a bit of a live stock market now. Fingers crossed that all the slides are going to be working here, Jono. I don't have any of my notes or all that sort of stuff. I may have a couple that I've saved on the computer here and there, but it's pretty much going to be on the fly here. So I've got Jono with me, and we're going to crack into the Stocky for this week. So I reckon there's going to be a heap of comments. Much peace, much love to everyone. We'll get through the Stocky as quick as we can, and then we'll try to take as many comments before the video, because there's been some outs, there's been some ins, a bit of news going on, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with my trades. I've just changed it just before recording. So, Jono, let's get into it, my man. As we do, we're going to start with the defenders over 500K. Talk about these primos here, mate. Now, it's hard for me to see. There we go. We're going to get the big screen up. So, right up the top this week, we have Jordan Clark. The man has been on fire, certainly a pod-type pick. The good thing with Jordan Clark is obviously he's got that great buy. However, if you've already got your Dan Houston down there, if you're a Hayden Young, Luke Ryan owner, it may be a little bit hard to bring this man in. So I think Jordan Clark is very team dependent. Although it's a good buy, there are a few decent defenders that do share that buy. So don't stack yourself with too many defenders unless, I suppose, you're free and you've got every spot in the other ground filled. That could be okay in a way. But underneath him, we've got Jordan Ridley. Now, didn't this man go off 162 for his first game of the season, 51 for a break even? You'll see the projected rise is 0 for this week because he needs another game under his belt in order for that to happen. But look, my feel with Ridley is that durability is a concern. Remember, it is his first game of the season, so I'd definitely be waiting a week. I wouldn't be getting too excited. See how he goes up the buy, maybe look to get him in. Jono, any thoughts on Jordan Ridley, mate? You interested? Would you go there yourself?
I mean, how many defenders have scored 100 plus against Richmond this year? How many?
Very good point. Your phone's going off here.
Not playing Richmond every week, so good test against Gold Coast this week, I think. So get another look at him. If it takes your fancy, maybe look at him post-buy, even though he probably won't be too expensive by then. So, I mean, if he's there, you could shake a D7, D8 spot for the rest of the year, but
certainly be a pod, mate. Certainly be a pod. As this man, Maxi Holmes, certainly not as much a pod as Ridley, but lots of people are saying Holmes has probably taken over Stewart as the most preferred Geelong defender, and Tommy Stewart you don't even see on this list, and that's been very rare in the stock market videos over the years because the man has been just so super consistent and reliable, but it seems like his game's just gone. Remember last week with Tommy Stewart, I might just talk about him now. We'll get to his slide in a minute, but with Tommy Stewart, that last quarter, well, when we say the last quarter, about the last 5 minutes, the man scored 40, 50 points or something ridiculous like that. Very much overscored, in my opinion, as a non-owner. If I was an owner, I'd be saying, nah, certainly deserved every point that he got. But, yeah, very worried about Tommy Stewart. Would not be advising to actually invest in him this week. So I did forget to mention as well that the notes section, I just didn't have time to do all of them. Some of them I'd saved already, but had to redo a couple of slides. So the ones without the notes section, I had to redo. So I do apologise for that. You got Hayden Young there. not super keen on him when you've got someone like a Jordan Clark. I'd probably just go the Potting Clark over Young myself. Nicky Newman's already played last night, which is unfortunate. Nazaya Wanganeen-Miller, one of your boys, Jono. What do you reckon about him? Because I'm thinking with that Marvel run, I saw him the other day, and I reckon he gave 4 or 5 dummies just in the one play, then delivered a nice ball inside 50. I thought, this man is absolutely elite. I was on him last year. Kama gave me some good gossip on him, but took him a while to get things running, had to trade him out. Would have been a good selection towards the end of the year. What do you think about people trading in Naz now? Do you think he's got top 8, top 10 potential? Where do you see him as a Saints man?
As a Saints man, I think he can push the top 10 because I think by the end of the year, I hope, fingers crossed, I don't think Riley Bonner will be in the best 23. So you've seen Hunter Clark come in this week, which is good enough for our midfield. But I think with who did I just say? Clark coming in, Crouch is coming in a few weeks. That will help Nazai and Sinks to go toe-to-toe off the halfback flank. So I can see him flourishing for the rest of the year. So
Very
if
nice.
you want to get on him, got the last buy, does help. And then the old marble run does come. But I hope we just be competitive in most games. And I'm sure Naz will be leading the way off the halfback flank.
Oh, I just love him. He's so silky smooth, mate. Really, really love him as a selection. The next man, Jeremy McGovern. Now, I've been off him all year, and simply because of his durability. You look at his games played over the last 5 years, 10, 12 year and 9 year. It's just shocking, but you can't deny his form, his role this year, and he could absolutely feast this week, mate. Who are they playing, Jono? Who are the Eagles playing?
Is it a team that starts with Saint and ends in Kilda?
I think it is, and we know what the St Kilda forwards do in regards to leaking points, mate. So Jeremy McGovern, if you got him, I think you can chuck the VC on him or the captaincy on him even this week as a bit of a pod move. And I'm going to recommend him for the first time this year, I think, Jono, because I can't deny his form. He's coming up against your boys this week, which are notorious for leaking points to defenders. He's got a break even very much in the green of 89. The 3 rounders 115. I hate his durability, but Abs has been on him all year. He's been a terrific pod. So I suppose the thing with players with durability is that when we get towards the latter stage of the season, where we're halfway at the moment, that durability concern doesn't go completely out the window, but it does lessen in a way because we're not relying on him for the whole year. So I'm actually going to recommend him this week. I don't mind Jeremy McGovern as a pick. James Sicily, 3-rounder of 110. Many of us were looking to actually start with this man this year, but it hasn't really worked out for him. But if you're comparing him to like a Tom Stewart that lots of people jumped on, why couldn't you jump on Mr. James Sicily? Break even is in the red compared to the 3-rounder. You've got Crispy, who's a real pod, 521. I'm concerned about time here, Jono, so we do need to get through because the Stocky normally takes me a fair while to actually record, mate. Dan Houston, a little bit disappointing last week. He's gone under 100 again. Oh, sorry, last night even. Gone under 100 again, but at the same time, I'll be targeting him after his bye. I think he's still very consistent and his floor is still very high, I think. So I think Houston's still going to be a great selection. Nick Martin, now, I haven't got the beanie on, Jono, but you do, mate. You're a great supporter of the podcast. Nicky Martin, I tell you what a great man. Watches the sword play or listens to the sword play and does don his beanie around. So thank you very much, Nicky. I'll captain him this week just because of that, I reckon, Jono. But look, in regards to Martin, at almost 550K, I'd almost be waiting it out. I think that when we look at the real top-line defenders, and I'm talking about your Dacos, your Ryan types, I really don't see Martin in that category anymore. And I think we've really got to take that into account. So depending on your buy structure, I'd probably just wait that one out. Dale has that last buy. You could go there, but the break even, there's no real value with him at the moment. Luke Ryan, well, pretty much any week's a pretty solid week, I think, to bring this man in. He's been probably the toughest non-own along with Max Gawn, I think, this year. Although I did trade your Hayden Young out very, very early on the piece, I'm really not too upset because at the end of the day, Lukey Ryan has been a wonderful replacement. And on his day, as you know, Jono, he can go absolutely bang. So you're paying up for him $671,000. That's like premium midfield category here. But if you look at his season average, he's one of the best out there. So although I don't like the price, the break even's 136. He's a man that can actually achieve that. So any week's a solid week, I think, for Luke Ryan. Dacos is an absolute must-have. non-negotiable. Got to get him in. And Elliot Yeo all of a sudden sees that break even at 190, if you don't mind. So could be one that you look at maybe after the buys, once he presents a little bit more value. Although he's had that groin issue, and this is what we're worried about, and this is why the McGoverns of the world still worry me a little bit. You could jump on at a pretty decent price, I think. So, Jono, anything you want to add to the 500k plus defenders, mate, before we move on?
There's plenty of good options. If you want to jump on one of them, by all means, but I'm happy to wait on some.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, mate. I won't be looking to actually upgrade this week personally. Lots of people are looking to upgrade to maybe someone in around 15 buys, so you're still getting a few weeks out of them. But yeah, I'll probably just wait it out in regards to upgrades, I think, this week, mate. So let's see where a little bit of the value is at. And unfortunately, mate, I don't think there's a lot of these players that we're actually looking to invest in. Probably looking whether or not we should be trading them out at the moment. So up the top, we've got Christian Salem. So a negative break even of 19, 345,000 with a 3-rounder of 74. Two pretty decent scores in his system. If you look at his scores before that, weren't fantastic, but we are getting him an absolute bargain here, Jono. Do you have any thoughts at all on Christian Salem, mate?
I was looking at him personally at the start of the week, but I've done a bit more looking into it. It's like last buy, can you afford to get him till then? Who's had played beforehand? Will he keep that wing role? Halfback, occasional on-ball stints, but I can't see myself going there this time round.
Yeah, I agree, mate. And Blokers, I've got my mate Brent here that's on the phone. Bloke, I'm actually doing the live stock market. So, yeah, now, mate. So jump on the old YouTube, mate, and you'll be able to catch me there, mate. I've got Jono on here, mate. So we're live now, mate. So I just want to say good day to everyone, mate, before we continue with the Stocky.
What do you call it, community members? Holy shit, it's raining. I need to close off light. I'll jump on and I'll shoot you a message.
Good on you, bloke. Much love, mate.
Enjoy. Speak to you soon.
Bye. Just a random one from Brentos there. Thank you very much, mate. Look, excuse me. I agree with. Look, Salem. I just think that this could end up in tears, and you're probably looking at yourself in a couple of weeks going, why did I jump on at 345k? I'd just be really prioritising getting those Uber premiums, or not even Ubers, those real solid premiums in your side, rather than stuffing around with some of these mid-prices, I think, mate. This is probably a week where you may look to go there in regards to the lack of value and the lack of downgrade options, but for me, I think I'd just skip Salem and probably look to go with one of those true premiums, in my opinion, anyway, mate. Zacket Williams, he's been hitting the scoreboard in the last couple of weeks as well. So 40 for the break even. He'll be going up a little bit this week, and I think he's pretty much a hold for those that still have him. No real need to trade him out. I thought that forward role wouldn't be great for his scoring, but hey, looks like he's gone all right so far, mate. We know that our man Fish has a bye this week, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we knew that when we were investing in him in the last couple of weeks. Close is an interesting one. Break even of 77, but again, I think we hold. I'm looking to probably trade out at his buy. Your boy, Riley Bonner. Heard a few rumours this week that maybe the sub maybe dropped. Are people not happy about his ball usage, mate? How do you feel about Bonner as a selection, being a Saints man?
As a Saints man, whenever he's got the ball in his hands, I'm always concerned. He can either roost at 55 and put it straight through the big ones, or turn it straight over and cost a goal.
It's a tough one, isn't it, mate? Look, if you look at the break even there, it's 83s, 3-rounders 98. So 3-rounder for 98 is pretty solid. But you are right, mate. I do love Nick Martin, but a little bit of Nick Martin-ish style to him, mate. You can either work out really well or he absolutely butchers it. So interesting there with Bonner. I'd probably be holding myself if he's obviously not named the sub. Tom Stewart, we've already talked about before, mate. I'm not a big fan of the Stewart selection, but at 482,000, if you're looking to complete your backline, you could go worse. I think Whitfield, could he be worse? I'm not too sure. You know, he's going to cop that tag again. And who are Geelong playing this week? Is it the Swans?
Geelong are playing Richmond.
Richmond, who's playing the Swans this week?
Swans have got the bye.
Oh, of course, I've got the bye. I reckon Stewart might be coming up against the Swans
Next week. next week.
Oh, is it next week? Yeah, because when I was looking at your Stewarts and your Holmeses, when I was doing a bit of research, I thought, I wonder if JJ could go to one of those two blokes, and who would it actually be? Would you tag Stewart or would you tag Holmes? I'm really not too sure. Probably not too many mids I'd look to tag in that Geelong lineup. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, Lockie Whitfield, I'm not really a fan of. I know that George has been saying he's a really stressful loan and wish he didn't have him. So, yeah, on that advice, I'd probably look to skip Whitfield as well. Now, I've just realised that I've also skipped the under 250k defenders slide. So, in saying that, I don't think we've got too many options this week. Probably the big one you'd look to go is Aaliyah. Unfortunately, has the bye, so he's someone you may look to go the week after. In saying that, Buckley should be back soonish, but you can't really drop him, I don't think, after that game, after that performance. So he's one that you could look at. Jono, anyone else that's on your mind? We've got Will Dawson, obviously, who's got the bye as well. Anyone else apart from that, mate, that you can think of could be relevant? Maybe a Charlie Dean type pick?
Not no one that's screaming out, pick me, but I think most of them have got to buy, and we've touched on Dawson, as we said, and Lee. So, or shall we say Leo Barry, that marked to save the game last week.
Mate, I tell you, wasn't that just super, mate? Yeah, and I'm really, really happy for the young man as well because, a bit of an early type draft pick and hasn't played too much, but what a talent he is, mate. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, talk about some talent here. Let's get into the midfielders, 500k plus, mate. Up the top, we've got Chatty Warner, who unfortunately has the bye this week. Would be a pretty popular option. May also be a popular option after he comes off the bye. So we're just going to skip him for now. We've got LDU on the bye, Neil on the bye, as well as Earl on the bye as well. So personally, I may be looking to invest in the midfield after this week, and I'll be looking to jump on most likely one of these four. Lockie Neal's probably my pick of the bunch at the moment because I'm a Brisbane man as well. I want to add a couple more lines to the side. Big ceiling, bit of a lower floor maybe, but even with Chad Warner, we saw a stretch recently where he went 3 weeks under the ton. So there's issues, I think, with all these players. No smooth sailing, but we'll talk about these in a bit more detail next week, Jono. But what we do have here is a pod in Will Day. Now, I was watching this guy live with Steve from SDS Supecoach. Make sure you check out that Legends channel the other week, Brisbane versus Hawthorn. This bloke is elite, Jono. He is so good. I own him in draft. Everything he touched pretty much turned to gold. Just silky moves, really hard at it, but again, very silky on the outside as well. No, he has been known to have a few clangers in the past, make a few mistakes, but I think he's got really, really high footy IQ, a very high skill set as well. So I'm a massive fan of Will Day. I'm just not a massive fan of him in the midfield at 526k. I don't think that he can keep up these huge numbers, but he's such a talent. And I think maybe in a year or two, Jono, once he fills out a little bit more size on him, I think he could be an absolute uber primo for us, mate. Yeah. Would you go Will Day at all, mate, or too much of a pod? You got any concerns with the Will Day selection?
I'd rather pay up for the proven in this situation.
Pay up for the proven, yeah.
You got to look at his second year in midfield, as you'd said. Give him 2, maybe even 1 year, possibly another year after this.
Yeah,
that player that we want to pick in our sides in 2026, possibly.
Yeah, well, 142, 117 the last two means he's a bit of a pot on fire. But I agree with you there, mate. I just wouldn't go there at the moment. Clary had a bit of a quieter game last week, but looking like that maybe M8 to M9 luxury type at this stage. I'm hoping after the Bizo he can go to another level. I know that some people actually planning on trading out Matty Croucher after his bye, but if you compare that 3-rounder to some uber elites or some so-called uber elite selections here, he's stacking up for sure. So as an owner, I'd probably just keep on to Matty Croucher. Now, his teammate Jordan Dawson, he just continues to slap me in the face. I'm not going to mention the fact that I was meant to get him over Sam Walsh, and that was a big mistake there. So I'm not going to mention that again, John, although I already have. But this bloke is just killing me week upon week, and it's hard to believe he dropped in price so early on the season. The confusing thing here is his role. So he's still not a high CBA midfielder at the moment, but consecutive scores, I can see 168, 127, 94, 142, 107, and 158. Like, wow, his short-term fixture, that continues to look good. Although the role just, as I said, mate, just does not make sense for me. So it's killing me a little bit, Jordan Dawson, but who knows? I've heard that they're going to look to tag him this week. I heard, was it an assistant coach? I forget who was actually speaking, but they reckon that he's a bit of a barometer for them. So I'm hoping as a non-owner, mate, that he'll actually start to receive a little bit of attention. Matty Rowell, well, he hasn't been close to his best, has he, on the Supercoach score sheet? Looking like, what, a clear top 4, would you say, Jono? Maybe a month ago. What are your thoughts on Matty Rowell?
Well, ever probably since, was it before the Geelong game? Had a Dower game. And then hasn't really been on the improve since then. But if you're looking at the midfield spot after his bye round 15, you got a couple spots open by millions. Good value on the way home.
Yeah, so if you look at his scores, so he starts off the season with 135, 155, 99, 129, 135, 126, and 136. So we're thinking this is the absolute coming of this man. Stamp is an Uber. But then he followed that up with scores of 65, 83, 128, and 94. So 3 sub-tons. That's 65, a real dirty sub-ton. So he's definitely got the potential to get back some good heights this year. But that floor, I didn't think we'd really see that floor due to his tackling and contested possession count. So a little bit of concern for me, mate. But certainly after his bye, I think that he'll definitely be a target for me if I don't decide to maybe go with a Neil, because I could look to even go with a Ruck and Grundy after this week. We'll talk about the Rucks in a little while, mate. Noah Anderson, he was tagged, as you can see in the notes section there, and was kept to a 55 by Georgie Hewitt. So with this low on this system, I think that we may actually have a little bit of value coming up if you want to go a little bit different here, mate. Any thoughts on Noah Anderson, Jono?
I owned him last year, and as you can see in the track notes section, it was an absolute roller coaster. You go berserk 1 week, shit house next. Berserk, shit. Berserk, shit. So if you want to have a roller coaster and a tag effective game from Noah Anderson, be prepared for some roller coaster scores.
Yeah, well, when you talk about roller coasters and range, you look at track here. So only hit the 100 plus twice in the last 6 weeks with low of 59 and a high of 134. So that's a bit of a roller coaster just there in itself, mate. I was always originally looking to trade him in, but I went Clary the week before, then looked at my buy structure. I thought I just can't get one of these round 14 buy players in, particularly in my midfield before the actual buy. So, yeah, track being a little bit disappointing, but hopefully he can reach some good heights again, mate. Adam Treloar, I can never recommend him, mate, because I just think there's any time here where he can do a bit of a double hammy. So I can never recommend Adam Treloar, but that's been pretty disrespectful to the man because he has been phenomenal for people this year. He's very, very few owners this year. Sam Walsh, oh man, well, but the efficiency, the clangers, like Jono, he gets enough of the ball. If only he could use it effectively. Like I was watching a little bit of this game last night, and he got enough of it, as I said, but he kicks it, and you just, every time you think, is this even going to go to a target? More often than not, particularly in the first half, it just didn't, mate. Massive second half. I think it was over 70 in quarters 3 and 4. But as an overall pick, I think he's been a little bit disappointing for mine anyway, mate. And maybe that's just because I'm always comparing him to how Dawson's going. But, yeah, haven't been super impressed with Sam Walsh. And I've also been a little bit disappointed with Zach Merritt. This bloke had the absolute dream fixture. I traded him for your man, Steele. Slap me in the face there, Jono. But things just haven't worked out as well as I would have liked with Eric. But I'm still very, very happy to own him in the side. Talk about your boy now, mate. I jumped off him probably 3 weeks ago now. How do you think he's travelling? Are you still advocating to bring him in, or are you saying maybe take that cautious approach? He's maybe not looking how we thought he was, particularly in that first 5 weeks of the season, mate.
I think with more of our established midfields coming back, I think more evenness is going to go around the book contest. So I can still see him scoring minimum 115 each and every week, which is right up with the big ones that we've touched on just not long ago. So at 550k, even though he's got his buy coming up in 3 weeks, but I think he presents still a lot of value. And with the ball being played under the roof in the next month or so, and potentially wet weather footy tomorrow, you could be in for a big tackle feast.
I don't mind what you're saying, Jono. I find it so hard to trust this man's body. I love him as a selection. I love him. I'm sad to see him out of my side. I was so happy to be able to get him in this year and be really confident. I have lost a little bit of confidence in him, but you're a St Kilda man, Jono, and I hope, particularly for your sake, that he starts to smash it for the second half of the season, mate. Rory Laird, so 543,000, did bounce back a little bit last week, but that 3-rounder, it's under 100, mate, so I'm not recommending anyone for Rory Laird. Butters copped a tag last night, so again, I think it was a 98 from memory. Not what we want as owners, but as non-owners, you're going to be able to get him, at around, under 640 anyway. So maybe you want to jump on after his bye. Will obviously not be playing next week. Josh Dunkley, we'll talk about next week. He's got the bye, obviously, with Neil, Goulden, LDU, and Warner, who are probably going to be the main options for us next week, given the fact they're not going to be missing another game unless it's your injury coming off their bye. So we'll discuss him in length next week. And the Bont, I think most of us probably have by now, but I'm going to recommend the Bont pretty much every week, Jono, because he's one of my favourite players in the comp, has a massive ceiling. I've lost a little bit of confidence putting the captaincy on him from time to time. Tonight, I would actually have it on him if Dacos wasn't available in the same game. I'm going Dacos as my VC tonight, and I'm hoping that I won't have to use my captain. It's currently on Dane Zorko, who's got the bye, so hopefully I can just leave it there, mate. And King Nick gives us a nice 140 plus. I'd take that every day of the week, Jono. Yeah. All right, mate. Let's get on to the midfielders. 250 to 500K. Travis Boak, unfortunately, was a trap. I had the trap symbol there. This was done pre-game last night with the old man there. I wasn't a fan of jumping on him. Looked good for that game before, but too many unknowns with Travis Boak and just doesn't have the role moving forward, mate. I've got a couple of holds there in Sharp and Hewitt. Hewitt obviously played last night. Sharp's been such a great selection, and he's just been able to spike a score to keep that cash gen going. We're thinking, finally it's gone. We need to move him on. And then Sharpie just comes up with a great game off the wing. And I've just noticed there's some games where the ball just always spends time on the wing there. It's just on his wing. Sometimes he gets a little bit lucky with where the ball is, but he plays that role really, really well. That was a fantastic get, I think, by the Dockers this year, mate. Tom Green has a bye this week.
I'd nearly say Sharpie's nearly been recruit of the year.
Do you know what? It's not a bad call, mate. It's not a bad call because, they lost, what's his name, the academy product, that Henry. They lost Henry to your boys and obviously had a bit of a void there. So, look, he's really stepped into that role and isn't he a great winger? I think he's born for the role and that's what they knew they were getting, a winger, I think, when they brought him across, mate. Thank goodness Tom Green has a bye, so I don't need to stress about owning this man. I wish I'd have gone through with my original plan, trade him out at that first bye. Is what it is. And Connor Rozee will not be playing this week. That break even of 179. Well, we could be getting an absolute bargain M9 here. I don't think I'd be confident getting him in as my M8, but if you're someone that's been super desperate, you've burnt through a few too many trades, and you've still got that slot there, then after his bye or whenever he comes back, you could look to go there. But even when he does come back, you'll have to wait a couple of weeks till these really low scores are out of his system, that break even comes to a friendly level, and then you could look to go there. But we could be getting this man at around the 400K mark. For a man of Connor Rosee's talents, that is an absolute bargain buy, a nice pod bargain buy. But not at the moment, not much that we can do there, Jono.
Nope.
All right, mate. So now we've got the midfielders under 250K, and as we can see, the cupboard is absolutely bare, mate. So McAuliffe somehow comes into calculations this week. And look, his scoring trajectory is going up. So he's had a 58, 62, 75 in the last three. Job security has also gone up as well. I've heard that Hopper has gone from short term out now to medium term. So that does help someone like McAuliffe. And he certainly has been far from Richmond's worst, particularly in the last few weeks when he's come back into the side. And the issue with me is, and I suppose the red flags, remember it did take a fair injury toll for this bloke to actually get his spot back. He was looking like a bit of a dead rookie at stages, Jono. So there are still some slight concerns to me, though, but I think he'll hold his spot, has that round 15 bye. Before that, he plays Geelong, Adelaide, and the Hawks. So that's pretty friendly, I think, for midfield opposition. So what do you think about McAuliffe, mate? I know that we are pretty desperate for downgrade options this week. Is there a world where you'd see yourself going someone like McAuliffe this week, even at that elevated price?
I think with the cupboard being bare, as you said, I mean, he's a worthwhile option from a rookie downgrade from Garcia, our boy Hugo. But I think he is a viable option. Like he's going to be playing the next 3 weeks. You can say that, I reckon. So he can
That's what we're
easily
looking for.
score in at least 60. You can get him to near on 300k probably. So, and then you can move into a mid-season draftee at his buy more than likely.
Yeah, look, any other week but this one, it wouldn't be relevant as a trading option. Like, I didn't select him when he was bargain basement price, but we're just desperate this week, mate. And to display this desperate attempt here of trying to get some names on this slide, we've got Camden McIntosh. Yep, that's how low we're stooping, Jono, for options this week. Now, I'll tell you what. Now, these are scores with full games, so keep that in mind. Not even sub affected. So 49, 51. That's actually the good stuff. 31, 38, 25, 32, 34, 34, and then went absolutely nuclear for his standards last week with a 92. I would not go near him, and I'm absolutely embarrassed to bring a name like this up, mate. But that's sort of how we're rolling with the midfielders under 250k. The news does get a little bit brighter when we get to the forward section because I've included a DPP player there that we could look to go. But I tell you what, mate, Camden, absolutely not. Just do not go there, people. Do not go there. Lockie Sullivan, he's another inflated option that we've got, but his scores have been decent. So pair of 75s to open his account, followed by 51, and then his high score of an 88 last week. Was really competing for a spot in my side with Brucey. I ended up going with my boy Brucey. But if you went Lockie Sullivan, I think his job security is looking really good now. Originally, I think that Bytel was probably meant to take that slot, but I know a few things happen there. I've got a mate who is best mates with Bytel. I try not to say too much, but what I will do is I'm actually going to get in his ear for next week and find out if he can give me some info on Mr. Jack Bytel there. So that'll be for next week. But with Sullivan, you got players like Degoe out. So I think he could make, 100k by his buy. And if you go on his average, that's going to be pretty decent, and maybe that will do the job. Jono, any thoughts on Sullivan, or who would you select out of Sullivan and McAuliffe, mate, if you had the choice, if you had to select one in the midfield?
If I had to select one, it'd probably be just Sullivan, just because, as you said, a few players out, but also Pendlebury's out now for a month.
Good point.
That even helps his job security even more. So I think he would score at least 80 to 90 at least, maybe tonight. And you're taking that into the best 18 situation this week.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. What is the time, Jono? Do we have the subs out yet, mate, for this?
Not quite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. And Jai Clark, this bloke's been probably the most frustrating rookie. Is subs absolute nothing games. He finally punches out an 80 plus. He's coming up against Richmond this week and gets himself rubbed out for a week. So, he just continues to slap people in the face. And sorry, as you can see here in the notes section, I've just inserted here desperate emoji pretty much. And I didn't even give Camden that, just a simple pass for Camden. With Jai Clark, we've got them up at there. Maybe a little bit harsh. Some people thought maybe he shouldn't have been suspended, but he was. So he gets them up at, mate. All right, on to the Rucks. And do you know what? I don't actually have the biggest name of the week here. Now, what I might have to do, Jono, is actually quickly share my screen. I will do that, my friend. Give us a minute here, sorry, guys, because I didn't think that Ned Moyle would be relevant this week. I didn't even have him there until we just found out that Jared Witts has a hamstring. Now, it's meant to be on the very, very low side of things. Definitely missing this week, and apparently it's going to be a test for next week. But I'm still not 100% sure on that. We're getting Neddy absolutely for this week, possibly another one. Then they've got the bye. So I think we're getting for 2 weeks. But Jono, as you can see, Ned Moyle is currently in my Supecoach side. I originally had Fraser here, brought Dogger up to my Rucks, but I have made a bit of a late move here. Question for me, and I'll tell you what, I need to actually think about this for myself, is do I actually get Freya, or however you call his name, Jolie Boy, into the side as well for someone like a Darcy? But before I even start to think about that, let's take a look at Neddy Moyle. So his 2 scores for the season are both really impressive. Sorry, there we are there. So a 90 against the Dogs and then a 104 against Geelong. Now, this is what I noticed about this 104, Jono. This could have been, I'm not going to say an absolute monster, but the bloke had 6 free kicks against you. 6 free kicks against. That's never going to bode well for a good Supercoach score. But in this game here, he actually led the way for contested possessions. And I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that out of these 16, 15 or even close to 16 were contested. We can see the 5 tackles there. This man is an absolute beast. And I'm a big believer that he should be R1 at another AFL club next year. I think he's too good for the VFL. We've seen when he's stepped up to AFL level, he scored really well and he's played really, really well, more than held his own. So with scores of 90 and 104, if we just track back up here, mate, we can see that his break even is at negative 81. So they're projecting him to go 69 this week and make around 70K. I think it goes bigger than 69. And I have jinxed this before with Jordan Sweet. Hasn't that been sour?
Mm-hmm.
But with Ned Moyle, I just think that coming up against Essendon, a Goldie type, negative 81, he's that contested type player. I think that he can go a 90 plus for us this week. And if he does that, then he's making a lot more than 68K, mate. So for me, he is in. He's going to be probably a 2-week proposition to hopefully make at least 100 to 150K. Hopefully give me some good on-field scores as well. And then I'll most likely look to trade him on, I think, at this stage. Who knows? If Witts is out for an extended period, may even just cop that buy and then keep on to him for a little while longer. Am I stuffing around too much in the rucks? Probably yes, but the ideal thing here is just for a couple of weeks, we're hopefully getting a good on-field score and enough money for it to actually be worthwhile for me. So have you got any thoughts on Nettie Moyle yourself, Jono?
I'm even looking at him myself now. Like, I'm even looking at punting Hugo because I can't see him coming back into the side anytime soon. So punting Hugo to Nettie Moyle myself and roll that, get that instant sugar hit for 2 weeks minimum, hopefully. And then you could make easily 200K if you wanted to go down to another mid-season draftee, as I touched on with someone else before. And then you put that 200K onto another rookie that you want to upgrade. So
yeah,
it's
mate.
going to be a decent price by his buy. No worries about that, even though he plays against my boy Rowan next week.
Oh, yes. Well, we saw Maxi actually go pretty well against Rowan, didn't we, mate? So, look, with Nettie, I'm actually all in, guys. I'm all in, only for a couple of weeks, but I think he's going to do 2 jobs, as I said before. That's give me some good on-field scores and give me enough money just to be able to flip. So he's at an inflated price. I certainly understand that, but think about it. When we hopefully downgrade to, fingers crossed, maybe one of these mid-season rookies, if they're looking good, just around the 102K mark, we're going to be making some nice coin when we're downgrading. So keep that in mind as well. I'm on Ned Moyle. You don't have to go there, but at the moment, given our lack of downgrade options and the fact that Sweet was out this week, I think that's where I'm going myself. Well, I haven't got much more time to think about it. So that's the way I'm going there anyway in the ruck, guys. Conway, I think the ship has sailed, as you can see from the note section here. Really going to go quickly through this now. Jordan Sweet, obviously already played. You see that I had the sour warhead symbol there along with the omission. Really, really unfortunate. Cameron has a decent 3-rounder with 115. Certainly a pod type selection there. I couldn't really go there, though. I'd much rather just go your Moyle. You know you're getting value. Could actually score as well as Darcy Cameron. I wouldn't be surprised to see him score more than Darcy Cameron, to be quite fair, but you could go there if you're looking for a real pod. Maxi Gorn, what on earth did this man do last week? From fitness test to 180, my boy Spills, shout out to you. Much love, brother. Spills is going a lot better now, guys. Thank you very much for all the messages and the kind words as well for Spillsy. But yeah, what a wonderful captaincy option last week. But after a fitness test, no way I could have gone there. Too risky, but it is what it is. Hey, tell you what, mate, you just go with Cherry, bugger English, bugger Marshall, all these other guys, you just go Cherry. He's probably been scoring well enough maybe after the buy. So certainly an option along with maybe Brodie Grundy, who you see there, 575,000, with only a 3-rounder of 102. We know what he plays like at the SCG. I think he's got more away games and he does have games at the SCG. So that may sway you maybe away from that, but still going to be a big discussion point for us next week. Meek's out. That's really unfortunate there. You can see Lloyd, Dumb and Dumb is my favourite movie of all time, so had to have him in the symbol there, mate. Rowan, your boy, I've got the binoculars on him with the target there. Do you think it's all right to get him this week or not, mate? And try to take your St Kilda bias out of this, Jono. Take it, Roma. We know that you love this man. Row on the boat. We know this. Is he going to be decent for it this week? Is he going to come back, Jono? Is he going to bounce back, this man? Come on, mate. We're desperate for a ruck.
I think he does. Like, you look at...
I knew you were going to say it.
Matty Flynn has not played for good knows how long. He's just going to run him around in circles around Optus Stadium and tap it down to, my other boy, Steely. And it's just going to be the lovely day for the Saints. Rowing down to Steele every day of the week, and the Saints win. What more can you say?
So you've heard it here first. 200 plus for both Steele and Marshall.
Get on.
Chuck captaincy on one of them, he reckons?
Get on. Get on.
Get on. Look, I really am taking that, and I'm in having a laugh about this. Rowan certainly could be R2, but at the moment, I just think you can just put a blanket on Rowan, Grundy, English. I think even Cherry's starting to make his way there in some respects. So I actually recommend maybe holding off your rucks if you can, unless you're looking at a Ned Moyle this week. That's just my personal opinion. But again, you are stuffing around there. Wits could be back after this week. That's the risk that we're taking. So I could be kicking myself a little bit, but hopefully big score. He'll play well enough for Gold Coast to say, you know what, let's just rest the big fella, our captain, for another week. We've got the bye coming up. That would be the sensible thing to do. We don't want him to play, make the hammy worse, and then we lose him for 5-6 weeks or maybe more. So I'm hoping that's the case with Neddy Moyle. All over him this week, Jono. Alrighty, guys. Again, do you know what? We are sort of getting through, aren't we? Alrighty. Because I want to get to a couple of questions. I don't know how much we'll be able to get to. It was mainly just to get the Stocky out this week. If you are joining us now at the moment, the reason why I couldn't get the Stocky out is because I had my laptop nicked out of my car about a month ago now, and I've actually borrowed my neighbour's laptop. Lovely, lovely lady, but it's an old brick type thing. It's done the job for me, just done the job for me to date, but I think it might be a memory thing, or I'm not great with computers. I can't actually export the video. So with my movie maker thing that I use, it gets to like 60-70%, and then it just stops and there's an error that comes up, and I obviously need to export it to upload it to YouTube. So I thought I'll give a live a go, and hopefully I think we've gone okay. I haven't looked at one of the comments, so Jono, hopefully this is actually going through. Hang on, are we getting comments? Oh, I can see a heap there. All right, yes, we are getting comments. So I think we are live to the world, Jono, which is good. So apologies, guys. That's why the Stocky wasn't actually out this week, or you wouldn't have been able to access it this week. Super frustrating from my end as well. But I haven't been able to get onto a laptop. So it's got to be a priority for me. I'm going to get rid of a couple of action figures. Hopefully this weekend, I know a marketplace, a couple of nicer ones, and I'll be able to get the laptop, mate. So apologies, guys. That's why I'm doing it like this. All right, Isaac Rankin. Damn. I just think of Janeth every time I look at this man now, and I will from now on, because this was the perfect selection for him. Being in that top 250, he was a pod, had a wonderful fixture coming up, and, the last 30 seconds of the game, he pings a hammy. So super, super unlucky. But even when he comes back, do you get him straight off a hammy? You probably have to with that break even if you're interested. Although you could just say, look, I'll pay up an extra 20, 30 odd K, whatever it's going to be the week after, knowing that he's okay. But remember, that really friendly fixture will be gone by that time. And really, do you want to be paying 550 plus for an Isaac Rankin? I think it's a little bit dicey, mate. So unfortunate that one just didn't work out. Sammy Flanders was an absolute killer for some people last week, mate. Gave a Krispy Kreme to many. Jono's putting his hand up there. Super, super frustrating. Just bad luck. My good mate Jake, who plays senior footy, ripping player as well. He's playing footy when the news came out or doing something or other. So it's like, how frustrating is it? Not much you can do, but he'll be back hopefully this week, I've heard, which is nice. Zorko, watched this man live and absolutely hated it. In the minus after quarter time. My man Brent, who we just heard from before, had a few choice words. He did have him as a captain the week before for the 160, but then he captained him for the second week in a row. Always dangerous with your Zorko types, but hey, you win and you lose sometimes, mate. As did you as well?
My captain as well, and I was at work, so logging on to see his score of 66. I was ready to throw the phone at the footpath.
Oh, no, man. Oh, no. That's harsh. All right. I won't talk about Zorko now. You got the buy anyway, mate. Jake Waterman, seriously, like, I have to recommend him, don't I? Like,
Equal with the Coleman. What the hell?
what is happening here, Jono? What world are we living in 2024 when Jake Waterman has consistently been around the 500 plus mark? I had the trap symbol on him in week 1, and I do apologise if you're looking to go him because I've got nothing. I don't know what to say. If you're interested in Waterman, go for Waterman. But what world we're living in, I'm not too sure, Jono. And Isaac Kenny obviously has a buy this week. Now, for non-owners, and there are still a few out there, Jono, you can potentially jump on next week, but you could even maybe leave it another week after that because we haven't really been seeing those ceiling scores. He's been scoring well enough and an absolute must-have, non-negotiable, Jono, in the forward line. But yeah, look, for the past few weeks, you haven't been missing out on too much anyway, but the season as a whole, it would have been an absolute killer. I said that Ryan and Gawn were probably the two toughest non-owns. I forgot about Isaac Heaney. He's probably in the top 3, along with those two as well, I think, mate. On we go, though, to the forwards, 250 to 500K. Now, one of my favourite players in the comp, Alex Sexton, just because I held this man, many people told me to get rid of the dead wood, and I said, no, this sexy beast will be back at some stage. And hasn't he come back? People are now jumping on at this price. It's crazy, mate. But 95 for a 3-rounder, negative 10 for a break even. The beauty is you can have him down back, you can have him up forward. You can switch him with your combins, your fish, like I've got at the moment. So I'm just absolutely loving this, mate. The issue is if you're bringing him in at the moment, Power's coming back, and then you've got the bye coming up. Who knows what's going to happen after that? I think Weller, how far is Weller away? I'm not too sure, but he's getting back to the frame. Is that, okay. So, yeah, there's just a few too many question marks still with this pick to bring him in at the price. But if you're really desperate and need someone, I suppose it could go worse. Garcia, he's been a really nice selection, actually. Breaking with 38, 3-rounder of 73. Combin, damn, I traded him out just before he started playing well again. So stuff you, Charlie. Got the buy, though, not doing anything for owners this week. Harley Reid, so many of us traded him out. But again, we're not looking to invest, not looking to trade out with him. Tom Hawkins, I thought I'd pop this one here, mate, simply because of their opposition this week. Had his big game last week, didn't perform too well. But could this be the week where he kicks a bag of 8 and by the time we're looking at him in 2 weeks' time, he's 400K or something like that? What do you reckon, mate? Is it worth an absolute crack giving Tommy a go against Richmond this week at 289K?
Why not have a Hail Mary? Why not?
A Hail Mary. Yeah. This is actually, and shout out to my man, Jules Crazy Frogs. Just got himself a sword play beanie, going to be on our wall of fame, just like you are, Jono, on the potty next week. This is one of his type of picks, I reckon. Just go for gold, go for that big ceiling type in a week like this. So, look, the break-even's in red at 54, though, mate. That's the issue that we've got here. So, look, if you want to go there, I thought I'd put his name there just for the real risk takers. If he floats your boat, then go for it. Tommy Powell, he's actually started to, when I say hit form, score a lot better than these 70s that we've been getting. I traded him out a little while ago now, so he's not really anyone that I'd recommend, but we know that the forward line's in dire straits. I think there's a few plays just ahead of him at the moment. Bolton's one of those blokes that I say every week, Jono, it's the same story. Never pay full tote for this bloke. Never pay medium tote for this poke. You get him when he's at bargain basement price. So this is one of the weeks where you may look to get Bolton. You know, break even of 67, but only 77 for that 3-rounder. He's playing for Richmond at the moment, who are really in struggle street. But he's one of the blokes at the Tigers that does have the talent to actually put a good score on the board at times. He's a forward. He's around the 400K mark. So he's someone that you could look to get in just to even fill some gaps. Got that mid forward, but he's really hard to recommend, to be honest, mate. Ollie Dempsey is another bloke you could look to chop, or else just look for that cover. And Nat 5, stuff you, Nat. Stuff you, mate. Like, I was sticking up for you. I was saying, no, he's good buy cover. He's going to hit another one of those ceiling type games to keep that cash gen going. And I'm losing faith, Jono. I'm really losing faith. He's looking his age at the moment. Not bad in the contest. When that ball leaves a contest, he's left for dead and he just can't keep up with it, mate. So, yeah, I'm not loving life as a Nat 5 owner at the moment, but I'm hoping maybe after a rest, after the bye, he could come back and deliver something, mate. But at least he's going to be giving us good cover. Anything you want to add, mate, to the forwards 250 to 500k slide for this one? We do have another one coming up, but anything to add for this one?
Well, I love the fact, just as a cricketer, that I love seeing Alex Sexton at 334 rings true to Donny Bradman 334.
Very nice, mate. So, well, if you're a cricket fan, this may be a little bit of a sign, Jono. Well, is it a sign that 344 all out, he's gone, or to jump on? I'm not too sure. It could go either way there, mate. So, very interesting pickup, though, there, Jono. We know you're a big cricket fan, obviously being Mr. Binger as well. The next slide we've got here, mate, for the 250 to 500s. Darcy Wilson, one of your boys. Tell us a little bit about Darcy, mate, and how you've enjoyed owning him for all of this year.
He's been our best, I'd say nearly one of our best draftees over the last few years. He never stops running and never gives up on a contest. Gets done by champion data for a late tackle against Richmond. That's another story. That's okay. But I just love the man. Never gives in. Never.
He's a super pick, mate. I remember when people traded him out when he just scored that 25, I think it was from memory, around the 25 mark, I think it was. And lucky I stuck fat because he's just completely turned things around. He's going to be an absolute superstar, this bloke. So at the moment, I'm just keeping on to him because even though the break-even's in red at 87, I think he's still going to score well enough, even if he doesn't quite get to that mark, that he's not going to lose too much. Enough for me to have to say, look, he's a definite trade out. So until he puts up a real stinker, I think I'm going to keep on to him, mate, and maybe use him as one of my last upgrades anyway. Jai Caldwell. So didn't have a fantastic game last week, but I think he's one of these blokes, mate. Like you rank into the sort of that next tier below, your Zorkos, your Heaney's, and your Flanders type. So I do actually rate the Caldwell pick. The break-even is in green there at 469. You've got to look at your buy structure, obviously, and all the rest. But how's that for the projected rise? Duck egg, mate, because 90 and 90, a perfect break-even with projected score. And remember, we take these projected scores with an absolute grain of salt. They're not mine. They're from Supecoach. But Caldwell, I'm actually a fan of the selection there. What's happened to this man? What a fall from grace. The helmet, Caleb Daniel, 304,000, 3-rounder of 44, the break-even of 92. And that with that defensive forward status, if he can come down to, say, the 250 mark somehow, and we know, well, we can never trust this, but if Bevo starts to have a little bit more faith with him as a selection, as a player, who knows, mate? He could be a bit of a, D7, F7 type swing player.
Well,
I can't trust him, though, at the moment, mate. I do like him as a player there. Darcy, now, this is the big decision that I've got to make in the next... What time are we, Jono? Okay, 6:43. So I've just traded Sweet to Moyle. Originally, it was going to be Sweet to Fraser. But before the Sweet news came through, it was going to be Darcy that was going out. Now, I'm looking at his break even there. It's 95. However, he's playing the Pies. I think this could be a decent matchup for him. When he comes up for the second ruck, if he gets second ruck duties, remember Mason Cox out, so I don't know who he's actually going to be playing there. That could be a little bit of a bonus, although Lob's back this week. Do they give him the second ruck? I'm really not too sure. I've sort of got this inkling that English is going to be out, and then Darcy, they're going to be looking for Darcy to step up a lot more in the ruck. I've just got this feeling, mate, that we may see English at WA next year, but I'm just not sure about whether or not I just leave this trade, keep on to Darcy, knowing there's a warm body. But Jolie Boy at the same time, he's going to make me 200K, plays for the same team, doesn't affect my buy structure, and has DPP, so I can flip him around a little bit more. Tell me, mate, what do you reckon? Would you still do it? Would you go through with Darcy?
I still would. Nice to decide. Jolie Boy's a local lad from here. And I've enjoyed seeing his rise into the big time. And I can see him being a superstar of the competition in years to come.
Oh, I don't know what to do. How many trades? So how many trades have I got? So in my situation, sorry, I get to my Supercoach screen. So in my situation here, I'm running with 14 trades, 122K. I've got one spot to upgrade here, I've got one midfield spot, so that's 2. One in the ruck, unless Nettie Moyle just goes nuts, mate. He's undroppable. Then I'll have a premium there. And then most likely a forward. So I do need money to downgrade to. 14 trades, 4. I always look at 4, 8. Am I going to have enough injury trades? It may not allow me to get that extra premium. You still going, yes, Jono? Looking at that, mate?
Gives you options to do in the next couple of weeks.
I always get so nervous when I trade.
And he's always Darcy has had poor scores at Marvel this year, as we all know. And I've had a hunch all week that big jolly boy will kick his first goal tonight. I've had that hunch all week.
I'm such a nervous trader, mate. Like, no one ever sees, like, when I do my videos and stuff, right, I know that, I've got time to change it. You're seeing me absolutely live here. I'm so nervous. This is me at my finest here, Jono. I find it really hard to actually press that final submit button because I know that I'm not going to have the time to go back and change this, mate. Do I do it? I got to. So 323 next in the bank. That's getting me closer to anyone next week when he's on the bye. Oh, no, Closey's not on the bye next week, is he? No. So the week after. But it was going to be Closey who was out. Shit, Jono. All right, let's just do it because I need to finish the Stocky. Oh, I hate doing that, Jono. I hate trading. It's exciting sometimes, but... All right, Jolly boy out. So 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. How have I only got 17 playing, Jono? What's that mean?
4 forwards.
Yeah.
4, 2 rucks.
Oh, did I skip the rucks? 17, 18, 19. I'm an idiot. I've skipped the rucks. Jeez, I'll panic there, mate. All right, we're all good. Back to the Stocky, Jono. All right, mate. We're on Brian Myers now. Now, this bloke, I tell you what, we know that he's the best distributor inside 50, the goal assist king, and that's how he gets his points. But there's something about Brian Myers. I just can't go there myself personally, mate. But look, if you really want to, he's 3 rounders 95. He's up there with that second tier level of forwards this year. Do you know anything about him? Want to say anything about Grind, mate? Or
your guess as good as mine. He's the good kid inside 50, but anyone's guess. It's like playing poker. You want to play a game of blackjack, by all means get him. But be rewarded for the good scores and be prepared for some stinker scores.
We're disrespecting Messi here, really, aren't we? We're disrespecting Messi. But look, if you want to go there, you can. I don't know enough about him. He's someone that, even though his average seems to be up there, I just sort of just skip past. I'll be completely honest with you there. I'm going to be really harsh here and say this was a wasted trade-in if you got Jack McRae. We've had blokes like your Darcy Wilson that have been going just as well as Jack McRae, and I hate to say it, former Supercoach royalty. And you know what? I'm going to forgive Bevo a little bit with this one here. He's definitely been bevoed. Like, don't get me wrong. And I think it's also a bit of a confidence thing possibly, but I reckon he's lost a yard, Jack McRae. I think he's starting to show his age a little bit now. I hate to say that because this man has delivered for us year upon year upon year. But in 2024, I'm almost going to go as far as saying I don't think he's relevant. That's really harsh. I don't think Jack McRae is relevant. If you own him, I hope he finds some of his good form again. But if you can get from here, I'm going to say, look, if you get a 90 average from Jack McRae, you are going extremely, extremely well. I can't even see that. I reckon if you get an 85, you're going pretty well. Even that 79 3-rounder there is half realistic for me. I hate to say it because I love him as a player. Sorry, though, Jack. I'm not going back. Charlie Curnow. I am interested in Jono after his bye. I am interested. I don't like the keys, mate, but I think at his price, he's going to be one of those blokes. He comes up against some decent opposition after that bye, and he's the bloke that does have a big ceiling. If you can loop him, even better. And he could end up being potentially that F7 type player if you've got your F6 looping with maybe someone in your midfield as well. Are you interested at all in Charlie Curnow at some stage during the season, mate? Have you planned for him? Any thoughts?
I am very interested. Like, you look at
Very.
the draw that came out last week for the rest of the year, Carlton have been ranked the 18th for the run home. So 18th screaming easiest for the run home.
He loves to bully as well. Remember what he did last year? Was it against West Coast and North? Like, you look at his scores and you're like, wow, big ceilings, and like, oh, you absolute bully. Look at who you did it against.
Yeah. I mean, come on down, big Charlie. Come on down.
All right. There we go. Liam Baker. Oh, ouch. 454,200 was looking like a decent selection 5 weeks ago, I'm going to say. But unfortunately now he's been out, he's been injured, this, that. He's just not looking like it. So
thinking probably about West Coast too much next year.
Oh, at West Coast, you reckon, mate?
Yeah.
I rate him as a player. I really rate him as a player. Absolutely, mate, because he's got that real hard edge. You know, as opposition supporters, he's one of those players, bugger you, Baker. But if you're a Tigers supporter, he'd be a player that you absolutely love. A bit like a Mitch Robbo, I suppose, for Brisbane supporters, mate. But that is the end of the forwards 250 to 500K. Time to finish up now, mate. We have the rookies under 250K. And again, we're not blessed with options, are we? The big news is obviously that Joe Richards is out for the next month. And that means that we won't be able to use him as cover during the buys. This is, Jono, such a kick in the nuts, mate. Let me tell you. On the Swordplay pod, and you would have heard this, mate, I actually had a rant at Spills because he's so stressed. Poor old Spills, I have to pay 200K for this bloke. I missed him. I got someone else in. I said, well, that's your bad luck, Spills.
I was stressed too.
Seriously, are you one of these blokes as well? Stuff you, Jono, get off the stream. Oh, come on. Like, you blokes got so kissed with this. It makes me absolutely sick, mate. But,
yeah.
Well, look, he's out now, and it is what it is. So you either move him on or you don't. He's another option I got this week instead of Darcy to get Joe Richards out for him, for Fraser. But should I? I don't know. I just want to start banking coin, Jono. I want to bank coin, so I'm not going to think about my trades for a little while. If you selected the man below him, you'd be patting yourself on the back. This bloke didn't get injured. He didn't score as well, and Richards was looking like the better selection. But, oh, man, what do you say here? They share the same break-even, as you can see here. Projected rise of 40K. He's got to come into the conversation as a trade-in target. That DPP is really good, 63, 64, and 76. The pattern's going up, which is really, really nice. It seems like he doesn't need to have a lot of it to have much of an impact here, mate. What do you do? Darcy's break-even's almost at triple figures. Do you just move Joe Richards? Maybe get rid of some dead weight so this bloke can cover during the buys. I've got the same buy, obviously. Oh, do you know what? To be honest, I rank him, Jono, as my number one probably trade in apart from Moyle this week. What do you feel about Joe? We know he's a bit of a local boy for you, mate. Any other things in relation to Supercoach that you've noticed, or would you recommend people jumping on him if you're looking for a downgrade, mate?
I haven't seen much of his games. I saw a bit of his debut game, but every time he's played locally up here when he did, he's been such a smooth mover. He played wing. We know he can play wing for the Dogs if required. Played forward, obviously, last week, but I don't see that as a concern personally. Like, he's played forward up here a little bit in our local comp, and he's more than capable of kicking snag, taking the contested mark, finding the teammate inside 50, as we've seen in the last few weeks. So he's an extreme ball user, so I can't see him, touching wood, getting dropped anytime soon.
Hopefully that's the case, mate. Hopefully that's the case, because
like you only state his case again in the VFL, like, pick me, and I think he'll be staying around for a while. He was a bargain in the draft, I must say. Pick 45 is a steal.
I'm on him. There's no way I thought I was going to make 2 trades this week, but Moyle, that's such a spanner that's come late. It's such a spanner, Jono. Like, oh, well, mate, let's get through the end of this slide because this is where we are going to end. There's no more after this, is there? This is it, Jono. This is it, my friend. Finn McRae. I can't trust him. I can't trust him. But Pendles, think of their injury toll, though, mate. So really, if you look at the Pies, you've got Sullivan in the midfield. You've got Bytel that's coming this week. You've got Finn McRae as a mid forward, and you've got Harvey Harrison as a forward as well. You've got 4 Pies blokes to choose from. It just feels for me that I know I'd choose the wrong one with so many options there, mate. It's like a kid in a candy shop at Collingwood at the moment. But again, the thing, apart from your Bytels who are going early on anyway, if you have to, is that they're all at that inflated price. I just don't know. David Swallow was a man that we've talked about in the last couple of weeks. But again, you're looking at that negative break even, but I'm not trusting him, mate. He's too old. Brucey boy, do you go, Bruce? Well, this week, Bruce. I love this man. A cult figure after 3-4 games. That's pretty impressive, Jono. Love Brucey Revel. The next family day, I guarantee he's going to have just a massive crowd around him, which is good because I'll get to spend more one-on-one time with the Pepsi Max King, which would be nice, mate. So quickly, I don't know if I told you this story. My mum won't be watching. I still haven't told mum this. I think most people would have seen the Pepsi Max can that I got, and it sounds stupid, Darcy Wilmot to sign. Mum was house sitting for us for a week when we went, we were somewhere, the fam and myself. And I came home and sitting on the bench was the can that had been opened. And I was shattered. I couldn't tell her because obviously Mum had got a little bit thirsty. And I said, Mum, she knows this, obviously. Whatever is ours is yours, obviously. And she went for the Pepsi Max can. I must have been showing someone or left it there on the bench. And she's cracked it. Should have gone for the cold one, the fridge, Mum. But it was shattering, Jono. It was shattering. I still haven't told her there because I don't want it. I know that it will break her heart knowing that it was almost my favorite piece of memorabilia. But yeah, it is what it is. I'll see the man next time and get him to do it again so he can think I'm even weirder than what I am. Hugo, bugger your boy, mate. What's happening to him? Where is the man? He's gone to the Amazon. What has happened to Hugo?
He settled a lot in the VFL 2 weeks ago and then wasn't even playing the VFL last week and didn't even get named or hasn't even been named this week. So what the hell are you doing, Ross? Like, pick the man. Pick the man. If you saw my round review, I was giving it to Ross. Absolutely give it to him.
Thank you, Jono. A bit of non-St Kilda bias there, my friend. I like it.
It's big him. Tackling machine like steel. But pick the bastard. Big him.
Come on. Bit of Hugo love. And again, this is why it's really, really dangerous, guys. When you see those, the non-blue dots and you see that players haven't got that blue dot, be very careful counting them in your best 22, 18, whatever it is, because when you do that with your Zach Reeds, your Hugos, it can just mean carnage. So, yeah, it is what it is, Hugo. And Michael Walters, now, again, we're really desperate here, but he's under 200K. If you look at his 3-rounder, though, Jono, the break-even's very much in red. Double his 3-rounder, and it's only 52. So again, mate, another example of how bottom of the barrel we are actually scraping at the moment. Anything you want to add, mate, on the forwards under 250K?
Well, I'm going to see if the VFL teams will come out this week and see actually if Hugo's been named. And wouldn't be surprising if he is or not. But can't find our game at the moment.
I'm just looking at who the subs are here, mate.
He's been named in the VFL. Big Hugo. Finally.
Yes, all right. So my man Jack's been named on the wing, starting. Am I paying too much of Freya this week? That's interesting, Jono. No, I can't go early. But when I say go early, it may make sense to hold off the Darcy to Joel trade and maybe jump on Jack next week. Can't have too many rookies in that round 15. Oh, no, bugger it. I'm just going to go through with it, Jono. I haven't got the time to be mucking around, mate. All right, mate. That is it for the Stocky itself this week. Now it is 7 o'clock. What time's game time, Jono?
40 minutes away.
40 minutes away. All right. So we'll try to get to some of the questions. We will not be able to get to all of them, guys. I'm almost absolutely sure of that. I do apologise for this. Oh, crikey. Oh, Jono. No, sorry, guys. I'm going to have to turbo. Let's turbo. Alrighty, here we go, Jono. Rowan, cheers to the vid, mate. Been waiting for this gold. Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Actually, Jono, before I get into these questions, mate, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel very quickly and where we can find you, my friend.
So I started up a YouTube channel about a week ago. Plan to do weekly round reviews and team previews each and every week. So you can find me at St. Being a Supecoach. Check me out.
Here we are. So, mate, I'm just going to remove my screen for a sec here. And I'm going to share another screen here so everyone can see exactly what you're talking about here.
I'm always trying to be mostly Saints bias as best I can, but sometimes I
All
cannot.
right. Now, I just want to do this. There's been a couple of people that messaged me saying they can't click the subscribe button. So I did this in preparation. That's as simple as it should be on the laptop. Phone, I'm not too sure. And then just make sure that you go to all of the notifications there for John O'Carroll sent being a Supercoach. You can see the round 11 Supercoach review there. Let's get into it, boys. Give this man some support. If you're a supporter of mine, and I know that many of you are, and I'm very humbled and really appreciate that, please support my man Jono as well. What I want, how many subs are you at, Jono, at the moment? Well, we've got
39.
39, 40 now. Please, it would mean so much to me if every one of you that are watching now, I don't even know how many people are on, if I can tell that, but if we could get Jono to 100 subscribers by the end of this weekend, it would mean a lot to me, guys. It would really mean a lot to me. So if you could find that in your heart to do that and subscribe to Jono, and don't just do it because I'm asking you to. This man's been playing the game for a long time, a wonderful lad, a very, very entertaining man as well, and a good mate of mine. So if you could support Jono, that would mean the world to me, guys. Please do it. It would brighten your day as well because you're a legend. You know that.
Thanks, Dow.
No problems at all, mates. All right, here we go. Motion up. Time to bring in Stuart, top 6 defender for the year. Now, if you heard me in the Stocky there, mate, probably not for me. I just don't have the trust. And remember that decent score last week was, a little bit inflated with that mark out at the end of the day. All right, Taco out. Brown, Sweet, Sam Darcy. In Salem, Harrison, Joel Frazier. Oh, look, if you want to take a bit of a risk, you can go for it, mate. Yeah. You're not trading at any premiums here, so technically no sideways. What do you think about that one, Jono?
Ballsy move and a half.
That's the best way to describe it, isn't it, mate? So if you want to take a risk, Taco, go for it, my friend. Yeah. Cheers, brother. Jordan Dina Tally. Hey, George. What's up, dear? I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, brother. You too, man. Appreciate you. Causa Blackledge. Causa, you don't know this dodgy bloke, do you, Jono?
No, I don't know him as Causa. I know him as the ladies' man. What are you on about?
The ladies' man, Blackledge. One of our favourites. Absolutely. You can see the membership tag there. My Supercoach team is in shambles. Only have 16 this week. Well, Causa, on the bright side, hopefully that means for the next few, you're going to be absolutely flying, mate. Good luck, Causa. You know how much we love you here, mate. Rogue, right, another member. G'day, mate. How are you, buddy? One of my all-time favourites, Jono. You'd know this, man. I don't really like cheese. I banned myself from cheese for a month because this absolute legend has been so generous on many, many occasions with donations and all the rest. So a live Stocky, mate. I just couldn't get it out this week, mate. It wasn't due to time or anything. It was literally the laptop wouldn't export the video, so I couldn't upload it, mate. So thank you very much for tuning in, mate. One of my favourites. You're an absolute legend, mate. As is Tully, another member. Great to meet you last week, Tully. Tully was actually in our members' video chat, and great to meet you, mate. Absolute legend as well, and a great Supercoacher, playing more for leagues and showing up a few more experienced coaches, which is great. Thank you very much for getting this out there. Smash that like button, everyone. I appreciate you, Tully. Thank you very much for your love, mate. DL, welcome, mate. Love it. Good on you, Nick. I appreciate you, buddy. You're an absolute legend, mate. Our next one is from another one of my favourites. They keep on coming, Jono here. Jono, hang on. Let's get. I'm hiding you. Sorry, mate. Let's remove this,
I hide
mate.
the second
Sorry.
one.
I didn't realise that, mate. You are absolutely non-existent there for a while there, mate. Get out of here. I hope you're going well. Do you think this is okay? Darcy to Fraser. I'm giving it a thumbs up, John. I've just done it myself. I hope it's okay.
Tip.
Darcy Wilson to McAuliffe, McIntosh. No, Carl. I hate the McIntosh pick, mate. I hate it. I would much rather go McAuliffe, but up to you, dude.
Yeah.
Closey to M. Rao. Okay, or would you worry about Rao with the rule changes? Not really. Not huge for me, mate. I don't think. Look, I give them the thumbs up, although I'm a fan of keeping Wilson. Jono, any thoughts from you, mate?
As you said, keep Wilson. Keep him to his bye. He's going to feast on the Optus this week, even though it's probably going to be wet, but he'll be still running all day. Don't worry about that. Beautiful,
mate. Beautiful. Good luck, Carl. All the best, buddy. Hi, legend. Hey, Greg Raven. How are you, buddy? Appreciate your love, man. Hope you're going well. McAuliffe or Harrison? Do you have thoughts on this one, Jono? We going Collingwood or the Tigers here?
I'm saying Tiggs. Get on McAuliffe.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say McAuliffe as well, mate. Mainly because there's a few of these type of blokes, these guys that are coming into the Collingwood side due to injury, and it's almost like throw the dart at the board. I know different roles and you look at different things, but I think with McAuliffe, he's got that midfield role. Tog is a little bit of a concern for me with McAuliffe, which is one thing that I will flag. But if I can compare the two, even though Harrison's had those two really solid games, non-sub affected, where he's got the 90 and I think it was an 80, I'm probably just going McAuliffe, mate. But hey, either way, go for it, buddy.
And lots of them have been relied on goals too, those couple of scores from Harrison. So if you take those goals, it's a whole different score.
Oh, I've just lost all the comments. Sorry, where are we? We might have been here, I think. Jonas Goat, how are you, legend? I'm bringing Sinclair over Wanganeen Manlira this week. Very much a pod move. What do you reckon about that one as a Saints man?
As a Saints man, I like it. I think because with Hunter Clark coming back, as I touched on in the Stocky, I think Sinclair will be spending some time at halfback.
Interesting. A primo of the past, but I'm off him since he's had a haircut. I must admit, Jono, I'm off the man now. Jonas again, with wits out with a hammy, Ned Moyle, 193k. Ruck comes into the rescue, 90 to 104. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Just talking about him before, mate. And tell you what, he's been a bit of a godsend, mate. Michael Mizzy, how are you, buddy? Is asking, how long will Wits be out for? Definitely this week. They reckon possibly is a test for the week after, then has the bye, likely after the bye. Take that what you will, mate. I'm hoping at least for a couple. That's what I'd be hoping anyway, mate. All right. Telly, who makes more money for the next 3 weeks? Sullivan, McAuliffe, or Moyle? I'm going to say 3 weeks. Do you know what? Even in 3 weeks, I'm going to say Moyle makes more in 2 weeks than these others would in the next 3.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like, even though you got Moyle on the buy in round 14, but you could easily score, as you said, in Stocky at least a 9 against around a 30-year-old Goldie this week. And
yeah, that's it, mate.
You could easily run around Marshall next week too.
Beautiful. Kira, this got to be bloke. Hello, bloke. Yes, this is so. You heard from my man Brent on the phone before. Whenever someone says hello, bloke, I know it's my best mate, Brent. How you doing? Good, mate. I'm playing you this week and not making any trades unless you have some suggestions. So you're playing me this week, mate. I do have some trade suggestions, mate. So Maxi Gorn, mate, trade him out. I don't know, mate. Maybe go for Tristan Cherry just for this week. And probably the other one we're looking at, mates, is Luke Ryan. I'd probably trade him out. And I'm thinking to Lizard Blakey as a bit of a pod this week, Brent. So they're the best trade suggestions, bloke, I can give you because you're playing me this week. All the best of luck, bloke. I'll most likely give you a buzz tonight, mate, or tomorrow. P. James P. I wasn't serious there, people, as well. I'm well aware that they both do have the buys. Induced Surf is a lugger. Hang on. Induced Surf is Gallagher. Will hard tag Dacos and follow him to bench, etc. My housemate lives with him. Induced Surf. Is Gallagher? I don't know what the first bit is, but hang on, this is slightly concerning. I'm going in with my VC. Okay, interesting.
I am confused. Even though
Yeah.
it's saying Gallagher will hard tag Dacos, I'm just still mega confused as you are.
I don't know what we're inducing surfing BP, but no, thank you very much for the info, man. I appreciate it, buddy. I don't really like cheese. Real has popped out some good scores, but I don't think he's a top 8. Honestly, probably would give him a miss. All right, well, there you go. So I don't like cheese. Has looked at that last month and gone, do you know what? We haven't had history of Matty Rao being an Uber for a whole season before. We've seen glimpses really early on. Maybe this still isn't the season. Maybe it's going to be next year. So not a bad call, mate. All right. Your boy Peter Pan. Yo, Mr. K. Oh, I've got a student on here. I better be professional here. Shout me out, please. Your boy Peter Pan. Hello. I've got no idea who you are, but I'm sure you're a lovely student. Thank you very much. You won soccer tonight. Thumbs up. Must be that PE teacher that you got at school showing you all those soccer skills. Well done, my friend.
Good to keep a clean sheet too. Love it.
That's right. Exactly right. All right. Because ladies man, he's got a lot of holding the balls against. I've got no idea who that is. Sorry, mate. Walsh. Beautiful. It's me, Rehan. Rehan, how are you, buddy? Peace. Have a great weekend, Rehan. All the best, man. Do you think Real is helped by the new ball interpretation? Well, maybe. The thing with Real is, like, if he sticks a tackle, he sticks a tackle. He's not the sort of bloke that'll, he'll get you down. So, look, possibly, but I haven't thought a lot about it. Jono, have you thought anything about that, mate?
I haven't thought much about it myself. Like, if the way holding the ball is, you should be able to have prior and not like a few, probably Anzac Day when I watched a local game, my club got tackled a lot of times in the last quarter, and the umpire nearly pinned them holding ball immediately. Literally picking up the ball, holding the ball straight to left. Where's the prior?
Where's the prior now? Jeez.
So,
they go one way or the other, don't they? We'll see how we go with this new rule, mate. Rosie M9 seems way good to pass up on with you, mate. He's a talented player, isn't he? Fingers crossed he comes out and smashes it, mate, when he's healthy again. Telly Beaver, hey, Telly, only 10% of people watching have smashed the like button. We can do better than that. Show appreciation for DR. Appreciate you, Telly. Thank you very much, mate. You've always been a great support, mate. We got inside word.
So what are you saying before? Instead of surf, whatever he said, inside word. This Gallagher's a hard tag Dacos. Does he have the tank to go with him? I don't think so.
I'm so big on Dacos.
I don't see him.
B. James P is a good man. Like, he's not going to be one to send us down the garden path. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Jono. I've got faith in my audience. I've got faith in my community. I was so locked in on this. I was so locked in, Jono. But I'm going to show faith in what P. James P. has said here, I think. I'm going to do it, Jono. The VC... Let's do it. We've just done it, Jono.
Making my head spin. Big time.
I got faith in you, B. I got faith in you, BP. I got faith in you, brother. Hey, I'm taking inside word. I can't believe I just did. I'm doing it. Oh, Jono, seriously? What just happened? Glutchy, Fraser's a must-have with the amount of rookies going around. Look, mate, I've gone there as well. I've just made a double trade, Jono, this week, right? I was so convinced. I'm going Sweet to Fraser And Dacos going to be my VC. Won't have to worry about the captain. It's on Dane Zorko. I'm now VCing Bont. Ned Moyle's in my team, and Sam Darcy's now out. What the hell's going on?
Oh,
Should I have done this live or not? What am I doing, Jono? Oh,
I'm
my
sure
goodness.
now too.
Unfamiliar. Get Moyle instead of English, mate. I don't want to say get Moyle, and then he's only in for a week. If he's in for 2, I probably would, and then just trade him out. English will go down, he'll go up. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm feeling carnage now. I'm getting a little bit flustered here, Jono. I've gone Grundy to me, Sweet to Moyle. We could make a song out of that, Jonas, couldn't we, mate? I remember the Ruck merry-go-round. I started Sam Naismith when he did his knee. And then it was like the biggest merry-go-round. I forget who I had in and out. It was shocking. I hate the Ruck merry-go-round. So rough. Oh, isn't it, man? Isn't it? Ned Moyle I can get. Has to be my R3. What do you reckon for Causa as an R3?
Well, he doesn't have Livingston or doesn't have Jackson, so it's tough.
Well, they're not playing tonight, are they?
Won't have him on field this week.
You got, oh, geez, you want to, don't you? Well, I suppose, if Moyle's R3, you probably, depending on who your rucks are, getting a score from the buys there, I suppose. Sad to have to miss out on Moyle. Mate, yeah, look, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one. Rogue's going as his R3. Next week, trade Green to Warner. Nah, Warner's going to be on... nah, man, I wouldn't be trading Green out. I'd definitely be keeping Tommy Green, mate. He's off the bye this week. He'll come out and smash it, hopefully, mate. Warner's not a bad get, but I wouldn't go Tom Green, mate. Cherry or Grundy for Gawn. Look, we'll talk about it next week, mate. I'm leaning towards Grundy, but I think Cherry should be in the conversation as well. But yeah, I'll certainly get into that more next week, mate. There's no way I'm going to get through these. All right, Jonas, man, where's the marshmallow symbol? Symbol for Rowan. Jonas wants marshmallow there, mate. Oh, bit soft. He says.
I don't think he's not happy. I don't think he's
Jono's not happy.
You got to get row your boat instead of the marshmallow. It's not soft at all, Jonas. You can get.
I'll tell you what. I've lost the comments. I think, is this the last comment? What's this? Chris F. What's Mr. K's full name? I think I know him too. First name, Super. Middle name, Coach. Surname, Budia. That's how you pronounce it, mate. Thank you very much. H, no chance Gallagher goes with Dacos. Rogue Wright's saying you can't keep them under wraps.
I'll add to this inside word. This is just off, not Dacos talk, but Rory Lobb will play second ruck. Sam Darcy, permanent forward. Mitch Cleary tweet.
All right. Well, Darcy's out for me then. Rogue, right. Just missed my comment earlier about getting an email back for the membership details. Oh, sorry, mate. I'll tell you, mate, this technology at the moment. All right, mate. I will sorry, right. Definitely check it out, my man. All right. Oh, I've lost the comments again. Guys, I reckon, what's the time, Jono? All right, well, it's 7:20. I reckon. Oh, here we are again. I don't know where we are. All right, here. Hugo is named
in the VFL.
Oh, in the VFL. Okay, okay. Soreness, bruise bruising. Bone bruising. Oh my goodness. Bone bruising. All right. I'm just trying to. H, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, my man. What do we do with Garcia? Training for McCullough for Sullivan. Garcia. Oh, yeah, Hugo. Oh, look, man. If he's named in the VFL, I'm just hoping that if it was bone bruising, as Causa said, that he plays and maybe comes back. But I reckon Sullivan will score more, man. than McAuliffe, but it depends on your cash situation, dude. But I'd say Sullivan would score more if it's me. BP James, appreciate you, brother. All right. Do you know what? I think that might be it, Jono. I think that might be it. Joe B. Hey, Joey, how are you, man? Oh, remember, appreciate you, Joe. Thanks, man. Feels like a Sammy Walsh moment. It does, man. It does, doesn't it? Oh. Oh, I'm butchering your name. Sorry, brother. Or sister. Sorry. Hadia, been poking through earlier. Shout for Bolton. Concussion. Oh, he does too, doesn't he? Thank you, brother. You are right. He absolutely does. That was all my notes and everything. Sorry, mate. I chucked the notes out the window tonight. Thank you very much for that, mate. Yeah, appreciate you. So you could have played VFL at 12:05 tomorrow. See how Garcia goes first. Great advice, mate. Great advice. Awesome. All right, Jimmy Bledger. Hey, guys, just jumped in because I didn't remember till now. All good, man. So fast, Greedy, but Dacos or Bont VC on your opinions? Well, mate.
Where's the fence? Because I'll jump on it.
Marvel Dacos a different beast, keeping the faith. Fuck. It's my team at the moment, man. I've had Dacos on. Our man BP, he's given us inside word that Garcia is going to be tagging him. But everyone here seems to feel like Dacos is still going to score well. But is he going to score better than Bond? Like Collingwood's midfield's depleted, remember, at the same time. How are Bond's CBAs been, Jono? He hasn't been played forward or anything. They've got Lob in. Darcy. All right, Bulldogs. Surely he's just been playing as usual. Bond. Fuck. So he's gone last month, 87, 90, 63, 66. And we've had Harvey Gallagher come in round 10 that he's split with, and that was Riley Sanders last week. Surely with Richards out, damn, look at this last week. Riley West, 16%. Garcia, 22%. Harms, 23%. Gallagher, 13%. Richards, 41%. Sanders, 41%. Bond, 66%. Treloar, 84%. English, 88%. So it's Treloar. Surely with now Richards out, with Libber out, not going to play him forward, is he? What do you reckon, Jono?
As I said at the start, if there's a fence, can I jump on it? So I don't know either now.
Hoodie. I wish I knew, Hoodie. I wish I knew, man. Brody, last three, Marvel, 136.7 average for Dacos. All right, Jono, I'm going to look at what the crowd's doing, mate.
Well, the majority's going Dacos.
Majority's Dacos, are they?
Yeah.
%, 23% with Bont. I reckon it's a hard week for a captain.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So do I go with the crowd, Jono? Do I go with the crowd? Oh, shit, man. This is hard. Can you see my screen here, Jono?
Yeah, can.
Oh, yeah. All right.
This is just so ironic that on Fox Footy right now they're previewing Bont or Dacos.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. Both of the geniuses of work.
So in the last month, 150, 147, 105, 130. Bond against Collingwood's midfield, man. Oh, jeez. Oh, God damn, man. It's hard, Jono. But Bond's last month, 142, 135, 135. So playing at Marvel. So his last three at Marvel, 125, 142, 135.
Well, here you go. The last 3 games at Marvel for Dacos, 32.3 possessions average. But at the same time, you got to count that West Coast game. That's counted into that.
True. Yeah. So 26 at Marvel, 26, 24. Oh, Jono. It's be a big decision. Tagged by, who is it? Garcia, they reckon.
Gallagher. And they're even saying that Gallagher did a job on Errol last week for 55 minutes.
For 55 minutes, did he?
Yeah.
How did Errol go?
In that time, he had 10 possessions.
In 55 minutes. So what? That's basically almost a half.
Yeah.
And he got 10 touches in that time. Fuck, he scored 131 last week.
Yeah.
And he was tagged for a half.
I'll get these stats up again for you.
Did you know if he went with anyone else?
Not that I can hear. So I've only got a lot softly just in the background. I'll get these stats up. So in the 55 minutes, 10 possessions for Errol, 6 uncontested, 239 metres gained and 4 scoring for Boldens. And Gallagher only had 5, 2, 76 and 2.
I wish I could have him as captain and vice captain Bont this week. Oh, Dacos or Bont? Has Dacos been tagged much this year? He hasn't been tagged that much, has he?
No. The only real tag was probably Windy round 2.
Got 11 minutes. All right. Do you know which group I'm going to, Jono? I'm going to the team previews chat here, mate. See what Abs and the boys have to say. I'm going, boys, Bont or Dakes VC. Heard word that Dacos getting tagged by
Even
Gallagher.
Pistol from Dr. Supecoach is saying Gallagher on Dacos sounds like a huge win.
He's a Pies man too.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. St. Hugo Garcia was managed last week, didn't feature in the AFL VFL due to soreness. Okay. Parker and McNeil subs. Scobie. Who the f is Gallagher? Oh, the boys. We got 10 minutes here, Jono.
Yeah.
All right, see what these boys say. Going Dale as vice captain tonight against Collingwood. Tally. Ooh. All right, Jono. I reckon I may have to, for the next 5 minutes, rock in a corner and really think about this, mate. I've got no idea still what I'm going to do. All right, what are the lads saying? Scobie's just like, who is the man? Gallagher was named in the guts in the lineup. So the midfield will be Bont, Gallagher and Trelaw. Lots of talk around Dacos. Lots of tag. Well, Freo Tragic, my man Dan, said lots of tag talk around Nakos rarely eventuates. They just move him around. Scobie says if Pies are any chance tonight, Dakes goes nuclear. It's probably what they're thinking too, though, eh?
Mm.
All right. All right, Jono. We've got about 8 minutes till game time. I'm going to let you go, legend, and let the audience go because I really don't know what earth I'm going to do here. And I reckon I need to grab a cold one. I've got a Great Northern there in the fridge, Jono. And I think I just need to just crack that can, have a little bit of thinking time, just think outside, and then work out who on earth I'm going to put as my captain, man. It's Bont at the moment. I'm going different. I'm going Bont. All right, guys, much love. Thank you very much for joining us as always. Jono, thank you for coming on, mate. All the best with your YouTube channel. For anyone that wasn't here when we were giving you a shout out, it is St. Binger Supecoach. Please make sure that you show him some love. What we want to do, guys, and sorry, I will quickly get this up on the screen here. We really want to show Jono some love and get him to 100 subscribers by the end of this weekend. It would really mean a lot to me, guys. So, again, here we are, St. Binger Supecoach. I'm subscribed, bells on for notifications, and I hope that you can do the same, guys, and support this great man. Thank him for coming on tonight, and stay tuned for some really, really awesome videos in the future. So, cheers, guys. All the best. Jono, much love, mate. Thanks for coming on. Later on tonight, let's get a members chat going. Any members tonight, we're going to have a chat. Let us know if you're available, and we'll hopefully not talk about the carnage. We'll be celebrating. Much peace, much love. All the best, guys. Cheers. Catch you, Jono.
See you guys.
See you, legend. Thanks for coming on, man.